Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Good evening and welcome to the evening news on Adoa TV, coming to you live from our studios on the John Evans at Mills High Street in Accra. You can also watch the evening news live on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana. In tonight's bulletin, we're bringing you some stories from Parliament as well as some updates on sports, business and entertainment. My name is Benedicta Dodu and the evening news is brought to you by Asatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories and Verna Mineral Water. Now moving on straight to our first story, the phrase school under trees is a political term usually heard during election years. Politicians from both sides of the coin come up with never-ending promises to make this phenomenon a thing of the past in their various constituencies. However, pupils of Nabori Primary School in the West Gonja district of the Savannah region have to constantly deal with studying under trees, and those who happen to have roofs over their heads actually wish they didn't because their classroom blocks are ticking time bombs. Salifu Adam Jabu from the Savannah region comes through with the next report.
Pupils of the Nabori Primary School in the Savannah region study in what they call death trap structures. Teaching and learning in Nabori Primary School has taken its own stead. While some students have to learn under trees, others who are fortunate to have classroom blocks walk on eggshells as the classrooms either have cracks, dusty floors, and others have little or no windows at all. The assemblyman for the area, Mr. Idrisu Abdurraham, who spoke to Adoa News, expressed worry over the risk the structure poses on the lives of the people who are compelled to study there daily. According to him, all efforts to have the block replaced or fixed by duty bearers and the authorities have all proven futile.
I cannot say I'm not aware of it for some time now. All efforts have been made to the duty bearers and authorities to support the community with a well-structured school. All failed. I strongly believe that West Gonja, the entire nation, has people who are interested in investing in education. We have NGOs and other philanthropists that are out there who are into children empowerment and all those things. I strongly believe that with the effort of the media, bringing this structure, the attention to our public out there, I am 100% sure that the duty bearers and other people will come to support the community.
Again, he said whenever it rains, authorities of the school are forced to close the school or move their pupils from the buildings over fears of it collapsing.
It gives fear and panic to teachers and students. How can you, a teacher, be in this kind of structure and you have the peace of mind to teach the students? When it is raining, they have to move the students out. When the weather starts to blow wind, they have to send the students out. So it's so serious. Teaching and learning is not something that is ongoing here because the students themselves cannot concentrate because of the environment.
He therefore appealed to NGOs, institutions, philanthropists, among others, to come to the aid of the school as efforts to reach government is yet to yield any fruit.
I want to use this opportunity, most especially the media, to appeal to the general public, well-meaning Ghanaians, people who are interested in the lives of our young children, people who are interested in investing in education. They should please come to the aid of Nabori community to get us a school to support the community. If not, in the near future, we'll be counting deaths and other calamities, which will not be paid for West Gonja Municipal. So I'm appealing to the District Assembly, which I'm a member. I've been advocating for it. It is in our action plan, but as to when will it be awarded to a contract, the contractor is our problem. I'm equally appealing to the Member of Parliament for Damongo constituency. He should come to our aid and support the good people of Nabore.
The school's authorities, who refused to speak to the news team because of fear of being victimized, said off camera that the nature of the school is negatively affecting teaching and learning. The school currently has a population of 206 students.
Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection through the Domestic Violence Secretariat with support from the United Nations in Ghana, European Union in Ghana, Oxfam in Ghana and other partners has launched a media campaign to mark this year's 16 days of activism against sexual and gender-based violence with a pledge to challenge every form of violence against women and girls. The 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is an annual international campaign kicks off on 25th November, which is the day set aside for the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. This year's campaign is themed Orange the World and Violence Against Women Now.
The theme aims to bring together civil society and women's rights organizations, as well as the UN system, the Action Coalition on Gender-Based Violence, and government partners to advocate for inclusive, comprehensive, and long-term strategies, programs, and resources to prevent and eliminate violence against women and girls. It is said that violence against women and girls continues to be a barrier to gender equality in most countries around the world, including Ghana, despite the numerous ongoing programs and interventions. The adverse consequences of violence on battered women and girls in relation to their health, psychological and emotional well-being compromise and undermine their development. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, emerging data has shown that all types of violence against women and girls, particularly domestic violence, have intensified and the world was unprepared to respond to its rapid escalation. In addition, the current global context of violent conflicts, humanitarian crisis, and increasing climate-related disasters have further intensified violence against women, ringing alarms on the need to urgently act on this scourge. However, there is also evidence that ending violence against women and girls is possible with a comprehensive approach that tackles the root causes, transforms harmful social norms, provides services for survivors, and ends impunity. Generation Equality Forum has created unprecedented momentum and commitment to prevent and eliminate violence against women and girls. The Ministry of Health, Children and Social Protection, hence through the Domestic Violence Secretariat (DVS), with support from the United Nations in Ghana, European Union in Ghana, Oxfam in Ghana, and other partners organized, seeks to exonerate Ghanaian women and girls from all forms of violence.
Minister Kweku Agyeman-Menu has said he has grieved from his quest to ensure that the larger population of Ghanaians get vaccinated against the dreaded coronavirus. According to the health minister, while he was in a haste in searching for vaccines given the times the country found itself, his own colleagues in Parliament criticized him for not seeking approval from Parliament.
I'm saying that you have forgotten about COVID so soon. If you had been afflicted with COVID, probably you remember. But thank God that most of us weren't there. So let us be very factual. Let us be very passionate. And when we have a problem created, not by any of us, but by nature and from the rest of the world, we think about how we together can put our heads together and resolve the matter. Mr. Speaker, I'm so amazed. When I was rushing to get the vaccines, to do vaccination very quickly to meet our deployment targets, I was found culpable of not having come to Parliament, and And I've been lambasted to the extent that now I don't have any image in this country. Your own colleague in the chamber. Now you stand up and tell me that our vaccination has been very slow. Mr. Speaker, we did a deployment plan that Honorable Atando has got a copy. That is what made Ghana receive the first consignment of COVID vaccines in the whole world, because we submitted our plan number 1. And they looked at it and started giving it to other countries even to copy. And that is what gave us the first consignment of 600,000 AstraZeneca vaccines in February. We started deploying very quickly in March. And when that got finished, India, where we were supposed to take the COVID vaccines from, had blocked its export drive so that we couldn't get vaccines any longer. And between April and August, Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that we never received a single dose of vaccines from anywhere, apart from the COVID that I negotiated for, and we got the first 21,000, and even that, the guy couldn't supply, which made us cancel the contract. So what crime was this? And now you come and sit here and say that government couldn't meet its own target by vaccinating 17 million people by now. Where could we have got the vaccines from?
Minority in Parliament have expressed displeasure over the absence of the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and or his deputies in Parliament, while parliamentarians debate alternatives to the 2022 budget statement presented on behalf of the President. Meanwhile, Deputy Majority Leader Honorable Afenyo Makin, in their defense, has said the Finance Minister has other things to do.
The Honorable Minister for Finance moved a motion on behalf of the President. We are debating the motion to make alternative input to be sent to the President, who sent him to bring the motion to us. Mr. Speaker, where is the mover of the motion? Mr. Speaker, this House must not be taken for granted. If the President sent you to bring us the budget statement and economic policy, Mr. Speaker, necessarily we are going to suggest alternative solutions. The Minister for Finance must be here to take notice of all the alternative solutions that are going to be suggested and send it to the President. Mr. Speaker, like we are saying, this is the House of Record. We have a Minister for Finance, a Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, 2 Deputy Ministers of Finance. Mr. Speaker, at least one of them must be here to take notice of these alternative inputs. Mr. Speaker, where are they?
Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister, his deputies, Mr. Speaker, they join Parliament in whole for the post-budget workshop. They take Parliament serious. And Mr. Speaker, our friends have been in government before, and they know that in moments like this, the ministry would be engaged in a lot of activities. Mr. Speaker, if it's all about every day trying to score cheap political points, you may do so. Mr. Speaker, you may do so.
Deputy Speaker Honorable Joseph Osei-Owusu advised that senior analysts from the Finance Ministry were in the House for purposes called by the minority.
I have been advised by the table office that senior analysts from the ministry are in the House for the purpose for which you could allow them to bring them to sit at the officers' lobby. But otherwise, would anybody point to me where in a standing order which says that the minister must be here? If you point that to me, I'll rule on that.
Mr. Speaker, motion has been moved by the Minister of Finance. And we are debating the motion moved by the Minister of Finance. None of the deputies are here. Mr. Speaker, the issue has been raised by the member. The Honorable Deputy Leader did not tell us why the Minister and the deputies are not here. He's only telling us that they were with us in hope. Mr. Speaker, then there is no need to even debate the budget. Why are we debating the budget? To express our views on the policies. And he must be here to take note of all those issues. And we should go ahead and debate the budget, Mr. Speaker. And you're saying that because we have a senior analyst here, and for that
Parliament for in shares. So Stephen Amwa has expressed disappointment in the minority for their recent actions and inactions in what he describes as impediment to the development of Ghana. In a press conference in Parliament, the NPP legislator indicated that one of the most dangerous things in society is when decision-making processes are influenced by deception.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I have just 2 issues to discuss, very short, with you. And I hope they'll be given the needed prominence, because one of the most dangerous things in every society is when decision-making processes are being actually influenced by deception, lies, twisting of issues, propaganda, making the general public making decisions that will rather have adverse effect or impact on the nation. It's very dangerous. And its effect is cross-sectional. It doesn't matter one social stratum. And I think it's extremely important we take this thing out of politics and deal with facts and figures. In the first place, I would like to address the recent actions and inactions and positions of our brothers from the minority side in Parliament. It is crystal clear that they are demonstrating that because of the seemingly balance in Parliament, they want to put impediments in our ways going forward as a country, trying to disrupt all activities, impede everything about development and the progress of this country. And I think it is time we took these behaviors extremely serious, not as MPP or NDC, but even the media and the general public. I would like to let Ghanaians know that the NDC brothers who claim they love Ghana, who claim they are social democrats, who claim they are supposed to do pro-poor policies to enhance on the betterment of Ghanaians, upliftment of our standard of living, it is highly deceptive. It's not true. It's the opposite. One issue, just recently, they were putting pressure on us to reduce taxes, that there's so much hardship that, in fact, it is an issue of urgency and emergency. They demonstrated that MPP, we are wicked, the way there's hardship. Then we decided to actually withdraw Road 2. They counted 11 tax components. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 11. Between 2014 and 2016, this is NDC's budget. Go and read. 26 taxes, either introduced, increased, or restored taxes that had been cancelled by the NDC. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this thing. Let's all be smart. They cannot always take us for granted. When my brother I respect so much, ranking member, Honorable Atufosi on the floor yesterday, you remember that this economy is sick. And that the yield tax has 3 legs that they are against. 1, remittances are taxed. Remittances. 2, we are not taxing profit. The third thing is that it is a transfer tax. Please, financial services tax. It's an electronic tax. It's a transfer tax. They were taxing remittances. What I'm saying is that there's hardship. Is there any time in Ghana we say there's no hardship? Let's be honest with ourselves. Is there any time? So we have to be serious for once. Allah, because I'm serious today, because everywhere you go, even some MPP guys are complaining because they have been misinformed. And any generation that is informed and deceived to make decisions, they are dead. In the Bible, it says that the young prophet was lied to by the old prophet because he believed he died. Deception kills society. Deception destroys society. Deception actually puts society in a deplorable state that can never be reversed. All that we are saying is that the best way to manage the congested fiscal space of this country, i.e. revenue generation, i.e. debt management, i.e. GDP growth, for long-term economic growth and stability, it is this one. Our last year shortfalls, revenue generation, was beyond almost 11 to 14%. Where are we getting it? Our effective tax rate as a country is negative. They should analyze
In
that.
Parliament has given reverence to the late Member of Parliament for Nkwanta South, Honorable Kofi Bediako Bediame, who passed while on admission at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in September. The family of the late Nkwanta South legislator, led by a former minister of the Volta region, Mr. Joseph Amenowode, called on the Speaker to officially announce the death and funeral arrangements of Mr. Gershon Kofi Bediako-Bediame to the House, a tribute was read on his behalf and a moment of silence in his honor.
The late Member of Parliament for Nkwanta South, Honorable Bediako-Bediame, was confirmed to have passed on Wednesday, September 8, 2021, whilst on admission at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The family of the late Nkwanta South legislator was in Parliament to observe the tribute to Mr. Bediame by his former colleagues.
Hours and participating actively in plenary all the time, he was also committed to giving back to the community through his philanthropic work. On the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker, he always advanced spirited debates that were full of knowledge and wisdom, and his colleagues were always in high praise of him. He was invariably unassuming. His calm posture was his strong attribute, and through his enviable advocacy skills, he was able to make successful strides in bringing development to the people of Nkwanta South. He advanced the cause for the improvement of maternal and child health care, livelihood support programs, water and sanitation projects, and school infrastructure, provision in deprived communities, and rural education and satellite television transmission project. As a proud educationist, Honorable Bediame also took advantage of the debates on the floor of the House to advocate the welfare of teachers. On 11 November 2005, in contributing to the statement on the incentivization of teachers, he said, "Mr. Speaker, I want to say that the welfare of teachers goes beyond this Best Teacher Award, because looking at the number of teachers in this country and the number who receive award, one would say that there should be a scheme actually to improve the well-being of teachers, to encourage more of them to remain in the classroom." Mr. Speaker, accommodation is another problem for teachers. The late honorable members are standing commitment to supporting government social intervention programs, especially in the education sector, dominated most of his spirited contribution on the floor of the House. In contribution to the debate on the annual estimate on 9th December 2014, the late Honorable Bediame had this to say, "Mr. Speaker, may I also talk about the school feeding program, and I only urge that the bill that the ministry wants to bring to Parliament should be expedited, so that we will be able to know the main source of payment for his feeding program, especially the caterers. For some time now, the ministry owes them about three times feeding allowance, and it's not good enough for the program. Regarding improvement of roads in the Volta region, Honorable Bediame was noted for his consistent appeals to the Ministry of Finance and Roads and Transport in that regard. In a statement on the floor of the House on 22nd July 1998, he stated, "Mr. Speaker, I rise to make a statement on the floor. I rise to make a statement on the state of roads in the Volta region, with a special emphasis on those in the northern sector of the region, and to call upon the Ministry of Finance and Roads and Transport to make immediate action to salvage the situation. Gentle soul and the soul of all the faithful departed rest in peace and rise in glory on the resurrection day." Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Bediame was a leader of the Christian group in Parliament, and his life in Parliament, his style and nature truly reflected that kind of leadership, and I wish that the good Lord will place him safely in his bosom. Now, shall we observe a minute silence in memory of our brother? May the soul of Honorable Bediako Bediame and all the souls of all the faithfully departed rest in peace. Amen.
He will be laid to rest on Saturday, November 27, 2020.
Chairman of Parliamentary Select Committee on Foreign Affairs, Brian Achampong, has justified his reason for directing the National Security Minister not to make known the details of President Akufo-Addo's recent trips. According to him, the security of the state and the president shouldn't be politicized. He says the details of the presidential trips should be classified as a top secret. He went on further to state that the cost and number of persons involved in a presidential travel shouldn't be discussed on the floor of Parliament.
What it costs to put the 40,000 police people on the streets to protect you, what it costs to put the military to protect you, what the sovereignty of the state, what it costs to put the immigration people at our borders, what it costs to secure you and the president are not matters that you can just wave that these are hard times and therefore we should let the president take throttle. You can't lift the conversation to this level. And I'm saying that, yes, we can do politics about a lot of things, but when it comes to the security of the state, the security of you and I, the security of the president, presidential travels, we shouldn't lift it to the president is bathing in air, and when you are pounding fufu, the president's water, the rain water that is coming. I mean, this is so elementary, and we're treating it as a joke. And people are running with it because of our understanding of security. And I'm saying that and if anybody in the security setup will listen, they should reclassify, if they have not already done so, they should reclassify all this information to top secret, which means that you and I cannot have access to it. At a certain time, they can declassify it and we can have access to it. Aircraft or the type of vehicle are not matters that we can discuss in the public domain. Bear in mind that these aircrafts, presidential aircrafts, they fly at 13,000 feet above sea level. The highest probably they go, because of their size, maybe about 20. They don't reach the 39,000, 40,000 feet above sea level that commercial aircrafts fly. So we have to be sensitive. If the president decides that today I need to make a quick trip to Sierra Leone, I need to make a quick trip to Mali, even if he decides to go with a presidential draft, using flight tracker, you know that this is a tail number of Ghana's presidential flight, and you're able to track it. Is that how we want to expose our president to? And if in the event that we need to get either a private arrangement, or private jet, or any other arrangement, it should be one that is equipped, that the president can function when he's even in the air. And this is standard presidential fleet arrangement. The president, when in the air, still should be able to function as a head of state. So the cost, the number
Responding to this, Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, has indicated that the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Mr. Brian Achampong, is arrogating to himself powers he does not have, and his response about the president's travels without official jet is an affront on Parliament. This comes after Brian Achampong, speaking on the 2022 budget, indicated that he had advised the National Security Minister to keep information about the president's travels a secret, even after Honorable Okujeto filed urgent questions demanding a disclosure of the full cost of the president's travels without official jet.
So this is going to be a brief interaction. We want to respond to the statements made by the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Honorable Brian Achampong, in which he claims that he has advised the National Security Minister not to respond to the question we have filed relating to the President's profligate, ostentatious, extravagant and cyberitic travels, which, as you know, we in the NDC caucus in Parliament have raised strong objection about, because it is wasteful, it is totally unconscionable and unpardonable to have a presidential jet which is in pristine condition to leave the jet, to abandon the jet on the tarmac, and to be renting expensive chartered aircrafts. Now, yesterday we heard from the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee claiming that he has advised the National Security Minister not to respond to the question. First of all, we want to make the point very clearly that that statement is an affront to Parliament. It is an undermine of the authority of the Speaker of Parliament. Order 66.1 of our standing orders is very, very clear. And for the avoidance of doubt, I want to read that provision. Order 66.1 provides, Mr. Speaker shall be the sole judge of the admissibility of a question. So no member of Parliament, no other person than the Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Speaker, admits a question. And the question in issue will relate to the President's May travels to Belgium, France, and South Africa. It's a question that has been duly admitted by the Speaker. It does not lie in the mouth of the Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee to advise the Minister, who only last week was expected to respond to that question. And you know the history. After weeks of government, prevaricating and pussyfooting, the Finance Minister came and told us that he doesn't have the full, he's not seized with the information on the cost of the travels, and that we should go to the National Security Minister. The National Security Minister was eventually programmed to respond last week. The National Security Minister sent a statement to Parliament, communication to Parliament, that he has had to travel. And so we'll be seeking another convenient time to come respond. At no point did the National Security Minister indicate that the information on the cost of the President's travel has been classified as top secret. And so he will not respond to the Speaker's summons to come answer our question. So we want to state clearly that the Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee is totally out of order. He is arrogating to himself powers that he does not have. He must stay clear of the Speaker's authority under Order 66.1. The other point we want to emphasize is that at a time that this government has submitted a budget and is asking the people of this country, who are already under excruciating hardship, who are suffering, the government is demanding more taxes from an already burdened Ghanaian populace. We want to state very clearly that we are not accepting this new found position. The Ghanaian people will not accept this. You want more taxes, you must be accountable. And this is another reason why we in the NDC caucus are clear and unambiguous that we will not support the 2022 budget. We will not support it. We are opposed to it because of the lack of accountability, the lack of transparency. And you see it all around you, even in the Auditor General's report. And that is exactly what the Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee has done. So let's be very clear. The position of the Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee remains an undermine of the Speaker's authority. It flouts our standing orders. It is an affront to Parliament. It's not a position of the Foreign Affairs Committee. We have not met. It's not a position of this House. It is of no effect, and we expect the National Security Minister...
Meanwhile, the Minister for Agric not too long ago said as a result of the Plantain for Food and Job initiative, a bunch of plantain is sold at 4 and 5 cedis. Today, we are looking at how an average Ghanaian can survive on his average wage of 15 cedis. The next report by Wilson Emmanuel has more.
In the capital, in your best friend's car.
Ralph. So babo. Enko Joyce. Enko. Me and me did okuno.
Go for rice.
Well. Ne mo ne bo adi major ID. As of 2020, the average wage was hovering around 12 Ghana cedis or 15 Ghana cedis estimated. It means that an average Ghanaian should be able to survive with 15 Ghana cedis. I know you're smiling because that is seemingly impossible, especially if you live in Accra. Let me do a recap of everything for you. It means that when you wake up and you're going to work, I live at Dome and work on the John Evans Samuels High Street. From Dome to Circle is 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. And from Circle to Accra Post Office is 2 Ghana cedis. That is if you're coming by a commercial vehicle. In and out should give you 11 Ghana cedis, give or take. If you have 15 Ghana cedis, it means that you're supposed to survive on 4 Ghana cedis, which includes food and water. Well, on the Accra High Street, food, as you will take it, should be cheap because, of course, it's close to the Jamestown Fishing Harbour and Gamami, a typical place where you can get kenke at any time of the day and anywhere. But trust me, over here, you are going to get kenke around 3 Ghana cedis, 2 Ghana cedis if you find a good vendor. And for you to have a full-time lunch, it means you need 15 Ghana cedis. Yes, you heard me right. 15 Ghana cedis for an average person to have a full-blown lunch if you're an adult and you want to get satisfied. I'll be going to one of the food vendors, try to engage her, try to buy food, so you and I can witness how much you're supposed to pay if you want to survive in Ghana. I'm not joyous today. Yaba ne yaba. Dokuno. Dokuno. And I can't. There be me fish. Yeah. I'm also saying fish no point to point na me here. There ain't 8, 10, 15. 8, 10. And 9 year 10 and 18 year 8. And 15 the anyway. Yamaja is not document 15 cities the other day. And soon I'm 15 cities. Hey, but them are 8 the enemy. And Amaja is nothing with the nominee home. Would that be made back to be our way back? Straight. Next one, a hand. And move. Matic. I was not too surprised when Ama Joyce told me she had to increase the prices of the food because the cost of production had gone high. According to her, when she began her business, she sold kenke as low as 50 Ghana pesos. And now she retails it at 2 Ghana cedis or sometimes 3 Ghana cedis. According to her, a box of fish initially sold at 600 Ghana cedis, and now with the same quantity or sometimes less, she has to buy it at a whopping 900 Ghana cedis, hence the skyrocketing prices of her fish.
Oh, I'm say 20 something years.
That's a board of now for the same.
Yeah, but once every 50%. Never once.
You see what
2 cedis.
The deal is now
I brought by it. Oh, yeah, bag, you say, you could talk, now you say, I bet Tom. But I bet Tom. So, but I'm going to blow back to go back to 500.
If first no came out, it was saying, as you came out, it was saying.
First, a boy 50. You better 50 cedis. The number my almost 60, but I 60. But they say 50 cedis and do a 40 something.
What do you do this now? You're 40 something. Interesting. So then you inform me what?
Fish because no say for high and so fish it's dancing and so then they from and also in so ne boy and
I'm the boy then.
And I'm
say a koto, young company man of party say, my ramp man of party to be quite or toffee. The koto, oh, tema, and I miss my beton.
I know.
Oh, none said the old penalty said they fine about
it. Well, there you have it. For a full course lunch for an adult, you need 15 to 20 Ghana cedis if you want to survive. And don't forget, this is a typical Ghana area. This is Accra. This is Jamestown. This is Akutulanti. This is Gamambi, where you can survive on 5 Ghana cedis. But it looks like you need 15 or 20 Ghana cedis. It means you cannot try this in East Legon, Trasaco, or Cantonment. My name is Emmanuel Wilson, reporting for Adoa News, Accra.
This is the evening news on Adoatv. We'll be right back with more news.
CB makeups now. I'm not correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures back on CB makeups. Ah, you know, me see CB makeups and make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew the dada. And 1 year packaging I had a pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pay you.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fear do and come home.
Susanna, Ghana man be man tamase.
Adoatv 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA adi edwedin kato yato.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Welcome back and on to some business updates. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is warning of an intense protest if the government goes ahead with plans to reverse the benchmark value reduction policy. Over a week after the finance minister proposed the reversal of the benchmark reduction policy in the 2022 budget, different stakeholders have defended or spoken against the move. In a press release cited by Adoa Business News, GUTA noted that there may be unrest in the country if the reversal of the policy takes effect. Here are some experts of the statement.
The Ghana Union of Traders Association is warning of an intense protest if the government goes ahead with the plans to revise the benchmark value reduction policy over a week after the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta proposed a reversal of the benchmark reduction value in the 2022 budget. Different stakeholders have defended or spoken against the move. In a press release cited by Adoa Business News, GUTA noted that there may be unrest in the country if the reversal of the policy takes effect. According to GUTA, 8 member associations numbering about 68 in conjunction with other relevant stakeholder groups in the private sector, including the Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Pharmaceutical Importers and Wholesale Association of Ghana, Institute of Freight Forwarders, among others, have met and unanimously resolved to vehemently kick against the reversal of the 50% and 30% benchmark value reduction policy presented to Parliament by the Finance Minister. GUTA noted in its statement that the conditions that necessitated the introduction of the policy are not prevalent, but even now exacerbated by the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. They added that revising this policy will therefore not only be mimical to the growth of businesses, but also spark intense protest that may result in unrest in the country. GUTA further accused the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, who have been in favor of the reversal of the policy, lobbying for the government to revise the policy against their local competitors in the business arena. According to GUTA added that it shall not accept the reversal of the benchmark value reduction policy and urge government to listen to their calls and avert any rift and unrest.
The argument over the proposed 1.75% electronic transaction levy in the 2022 budget and economic policy will not go away soon, as the Institute of Economic Affairs is proposing a 0.5% of the levy. This, it believes, will ease the burden on consumers and avoid negative reactions from the public. The IEA claims that a 1.75% levy is too high, as the telecom firms already charge 1% as service fees.
The argument over the proposed 1.75% electronic transaction levy in the 2022 budget and economic policy will not go away soon, as the Institute of Economic Affairs is proposing a 0.5% for the levy. This, it believes, would ease the burden on consumers and avoid negative reactions from the public. The IEA claims that the 1.75% levy is too high, as the telco firms already charging a 1% as service fee. He said, and I quote, "Whereas we think that the e-levy represents an innovative idea to scale up revenue mobilization, we have some reservations." This is according to the Director of Research of the Institute of Economic Affairs, Dr. John Kwache. Customers will be paying the 1.75% levy on Momo transactions in addition to the 1% already levied by telcos, bringing the total levy to 2.75%, and this, he believes, is very high. To ease the burden on consumers and avoid the negative reactions, we would propose a 0.5% levy for the E, bringing the total to a 1.5% levy.
That is all for business. Sports is next.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
On to some sports updates now. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has refused to apologize for calling the AFCON a little tournament and insisted his comments were taken out of context after he was embroiled in an exchange with an angry reporter on Wednesday night.
Jurgen Klopp explained to an offended journalist that his remark, which came after the 4-0 win against Arsenal on Saturday, was a way of expressing his frustration at losing vital players at an important stage of the season. The Liverpool manager, following his side's 2-0 win against Porto, was called up on what he said on Saturday when he described the African Cup of Nations a little tournament while talking about international break. Yet, on Wednesday, a journalist speaking via video link to Klopp demanded an apology and believed Klopp would never say a little tournament in Europe. Yet the German moved to defend his comment as he referred to losing the likes of Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane to the event starting in January. Replying to a journalist on Saturday who asked if Klopp was relieved they had got through a busy period with no international break until March, Klopp laughed and replied, "I've heard that so often that there's no international break until March. In January, there's a little tournament in Africa. I just want to say, and I think Asia is playing games too. South America as well. Great, can't wait." Klopp was then speaking in his Champions League post-match press conference after Liverpool had secured a fifth straight win in the competition to beat Porto 2-0 on Wednesday, when a journalist said Klopp had insulted the players, fans, people, and continent of Africa with his comment. A taken, Klopp replied, "I didn't mean it like that. I don't know why you understand it like that."
It's all good. It was not. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I don't know why you understand it like that. To be honest,
that was what you said. I listened to the presser. That was what you said. You said a little tournament and a continent in Africa. That was what you said.
I didn't mean it like that. Okay, come on. Did you say what you say, and then I start what I want to say? But you are not finished. Come on.
Klopp then defended his comment, saying that it is not the idea in his mind to talk about the African Cup of Nations as a little tournament or the continent of Africa as a little continent.
I'm really not. It was not even close, and not even my idea in my mind that I want to talk about AFCON as a little tournament or about the continent of Africa like a little continent. Not at all. So what I meant is, because people said, and if you watch the full press conference, then you might have, if you wanted to understand it the right way, you could have understood it in the right way, because they said there's no international break anymore until March. And I said, oh, there's a little tournament in January, and I didn't mean a little tournament. I just mean like you say it when there's still a tournament. It's ironic. There's still a tournament, a big one. We lose our best players to
Well, you wouldn't say that in the...
I'm not a native speaker, but if you want to understand me wrong, you can do that all the time. I really don't. I know that I never would think like this. I don't understand why you thought like this, to be honest, but that's really not okay, because I would never do that. But that's it now. It was not my intention. But you made it up.
The Ghana Football Association, in partnership with the Football Associations of Ireland, Portugal, and Finland, has commenced the mobility and exchange phase of the Football for Social Inclusion project, co-funded by the European Union in Dublin. This phase of the project, being hosted by the Irish Football Association, takes place in Dublin and will end on Friday, November 26, 2021.
The project, which is called Social Inclusion Education and Training Exchange for Sports Professionals, Coaches, and Volunteers, is in the area of mobility and exchange and aimed at providing and building competencies towards inclusive football. The Football Association of Ireland, which have specialty in the area of mobility and exchange, is hosting this phase of the project to share its knowledge, expertise, and practical examples to the other football associations. The Ghana Football Association and the other 3 European Union-based football associations will work on the thematic areas of social inclusion in and through football. The format of the program includes workshops, seminars, visits to football clubs, football programs, and training that is online platform, inclusion awareness, and fair play. The project will also seek to bridge the gap between theory and practical, enhancing competences, knowledge sharing, and peer-to-peer learning opportunities. The Ghana Football Association is cooperating with the Sports Directorate of the University of Ghana, which will coordinate the work of the Ghanaian team. GFA and the University of Ghana have brought on board representatives from the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the Sport Authority, non-governmental organizations and clubs, coaches, sports industry professionals, and volunteers. The final exchange seminar will be held in Ghana to conclude the project, which will provide more opportunity for greater face-to-face networking among the 4 football associations involved in the project, and also engage wider local actors in Ghana around the discussion on sport and social inclusion, that is,
That is all for tonight on the evening news at 6 on Adoa TV. For more news, log on to our website www.adoanewsonline.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana. Remember, the evening news is brought to you by Asate Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Verna Mineral Water. I am Benedict Adodu. Thanks for staying with us. Enjoy the rest of our programs.